Oh yeah, yeah, he did. Again, even our lovely player here had a deeper run in ESL Masters, right? He was the Protoss representative in the playoffs. We have in the top left-hand corner of Babylon, the South Korean Protoss player representing his new team, Twisted Minds. It is Classic.
And over here, the bottom right-hand quarter map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand quarter, we have our blue Protoss player coming out for the land of South Korea as well. He's going to be representing his team, CranKy Gaming, as well as 2018 Zest, I believe that. Yeah, 2018 Zest. We have herO. Hip hop. Oh, each other.
Feels bad, man.
That's what happens when you mineral walk.
True, true. As for the time being, we have some standard openers all around, but yeah, it's always a lot of fun to cast both of these players duke it out. Classic did have an amazing performance in DreamHack Yongshipping and was able to be the Protoss of the playoffs, but did meet his end at the hands of herO. But it's herO, you know, what can you do? He was, of course, the champion at the end of the day.
So it was a very brutal round of 8 there for Classic, to say the least.
Yeah, it really was. But it was an even more brutal tournament for herO. I don't know if you remember, but both Asher and I, yeah, we were casting the open brackets of DreamHack Yongshipping of ESL Masters Summer, and herO didn't even make it out of the group stage of the open bracket. It was brutal, actually brutal.
It really, really was. He actually got taken out by Creator, if I remember correctly. In the in the final round to determine who would make it to the not the knockout stage. No, yeah, into the knockout stage.
Yeah, exactly. It was so heartbreaking to watch. I mean, I'm a massive Creator fan as well, and it was just such a shame that one player had to rise and the other player had to fall. As herO goes for a natural. Oh my god.
He absorbed Solar after beating him, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Classic was being annoying here.
Him after shoving him off the door.
Yeah. He was being annoying, trying to delay the natural base for as long as possible. The Zealot rocks up as well for Classic. He doesn't know that we have another expansion instead, and he will finally check and confirm that.
This may just about be the genius move here from herO. Because like you say, you know, Classic has no idea. He probably suspects something is going up here. You know, he can't imagine that, you know, there's no expansion behind all of this. But at the back of his mind, he's always gonna have to think it could be a proxy.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, both players are also getting to Phoenix production. herO still has his own probe alive across the map and is keeping Classic on one base economy, so herO has the economic advantage. Classic does get his eyes on this, and oh my god, he throws down a proxy pylon as well. Classic, he wants to try to break his opponent.
Yeah, this was a little bit of the upside here for Classic. Considering he did have to delay his own Nexus for quite a while. He did get his production up and running a little bit faster, and so he is able to apply a little bit of pressure here. But with the defensive advantage, I don't see Classic really getting too much done.
Yeah, exactly. As Classic will lose one Stalker, almost loses a second Stalker as well. The Phoenix is just show up. Shield battery finishes for herO. He has the defender's advantage. He does get away with this natural base, and Classic, just now starts his own natural.
Yeah, very, very delayed one at that. herO's taken absolutely zero economic damage here, and now the onus is very much on Classic to try to equalize in some way.
Yeah, exactly. The pressure is on, and Classic, I believe, has a bit of a Phoenix lead. He does have 4 Phoenixes to the 3 of herO, so maybe he can try and snowball in that manner. But for the time being, herO is, you know, enjoying his economy, enjoying his bases, and momentarily, I'm sure he's going to be looking to push out.
LCU has some better control here. As currently it was herO.
Yeah, here he wins on the ground, and with that he can push on across the map as well. The Phoenix is very low here for Classic. Does have another Phoenix in production as we speak. Oh, herO barely keeps his own Phoenix alive.
That Phoenix is giving me anxiety. On that earlier one that was on pretty much 1 health as well, but from Classic, but did get taken out.
Did get taken out in the end. hero's going to back off. He's going to enjoy his natural base. Just backs off just to top up with those shields, and now he's coming back into the thick of it here with his army. Going to try and test the waters. Going to try and test the defenses of Classic at the natural.
Yeah, which, while not as tight as hero's defenses over at his unnatural natural, it still has a ramp that hero has to go up on, and yeah, should still hold strong enough here for Classic to be able to repel this attack, but not the Phoenix harass coming in from behind. Classic did not expect this at all.
I love it.
Did he need to recall there?
He didn't, but he did. Oh my god, as hero, he dives in, gets 4 worker kills and recalls out, and hey, he's trading energy for worker kills. Well worth it, especially considering that Classic was already behind in the worker count because of the delayed natural base. Hero getting further and further ahead. Classic is going for his own counterattack, but hero is in position.
That was a power move by hero right there.
He's
Just reminded Classic, you know, I could take out your entire mineral line if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I don't, so I'm going to recall back home. And like you said, get ready to defend against your own Phoenixes. He doesn't catch them this time, though.
Oh my god, I love it. The scouting probe from Classic told him where the army was. He's able to bypass it. He slips into the main base, and now hero will also be losing workers.
Yeah, of course, hero can't afford to lose a couple of workers here, but oh, not this many. This is a fantastic way for Classic to come back in this game.
Oh, and at the same time, Classic is in position. Hero tried to go for his own counterattack, but no, he is denied, and 9 workers go down. And suddenly, Classic has evened up the worker count.
Just like so. Hero's not done yet, though. A little bit of a blob here. It's a gateway on the minimap. Hero wants to further reciprocate the reciprocation.
Yeah,
that's possible.
He's setting up for 2 base all in. We have 4 gates back at home. That's 5 gates with the gateway across the map. He is 2 base all in. He's looking to break his opponent here and now. Blink is already done for hero. Blink still on the horizon for Classic. So there's a window that hero can take advantage of.
Yeah, we'll see that high ground vision comes into play here for hero.
Yeah, if he wants to, he could maybe even...
over if he needs it.
Yeah, he could try and blink up into the main base if he finds an opportunity to. As you were saying, he does spot the army. He knows where it does reside. He even has a sentry as well for force fields or even for that guardian shield.
Yeah. It's sad, though, that sentries don't have blink.
They'll be left behind.
Yeah. Won't quite be able to, you know, force field the ramp like you would want to if you had a warp prism, but... yeah, hero is focusing extensively on units that can deal damage, so no warp prism in sight. Like you said, I'm a little bit surprised at how conservative hero is being right now, but here we go. Finally pulls the trigger, lifts up as many stalkers as he can, and there's no shield battery here for Classic, actually.
Wow, the green, no shield battery, no overcharge. Hero is pushing his way through. At the same time, we do have a little bit of a depth harass across that, but Hero, he's able to warp in defensively back at home, and it looks like Classic is going to be able to force Hero back for now, but both players actually did lose all their Phoenixes, and Classic is taking a bit of a fight towards the end.
Yeah, I was going to say, Classic needs to be careful not to overextend. He has the lower army supply, but I realized a lot of that army supply from Hero were reinforcements warped in at home to try to deal with these depths. So all in all, Hero is able to find a pretty strong worker lead, but Classic survived what should have been a kill move.
Yeah, exactly. As you were saying, Hero, I'm sure he wanted to warp in across the map and just keep the pressure on, but that adept harass was clutch from Classic, was able to give him the breathing room that he needed. He's still behind economically, and Hero is refining his army. It's not just Blink Stalkers, not anymore. Now we even have Immortals.
Yeah, the #1 Stalker killer. Actually, yeah, what else would kill Stalkers? Other Stalkers? No. That doesn't exist.
Exactly. Stop the Stalker on Stalker violence is about the Immortal on Stalker violence, as we already have 1 Immortal. We have a second one on the way. A bit of a supply block from Hero. Meanwhile, both players are expanding. Both players are taking their 3rd bases as we speak. Heroes, of course, is going to be much safer as he's expanding backwards. Hero also, I believe, he hasn't scouted this proxy gateway, so Classic just continues to warp in across the map. He's going to be able to sneak in some adepts.
Yeah, slowly but surely, once again, just working on keeping his opponent's economy as low as his own is.
It's happening.
herO does scout the Sir Basic Classic, and I'll tell you what's happening, Light. We are going into full base trade city, or not, as herO recalls.
herO does deny the third base. He recalls back home. He's going to be losing a lot of workers here at his own third base. 21 probes go down the entire mineral line, and herO now has to make this worth it. He has to try to catch the army, but no, Classic, he just pivots away. He's just backing off.
Or trying to, as he goes for a little bit of a reflanking over here. I'm liking Classic Stalker count a lot better, but of course that Immortal is putting in a lot of work, was putting in a lot of work, as it immediately gets targeted down by these Stalkers of Classic. Classic, it has a lot of momentum, and he doesn't seem to be letting up at all. This poor RoboBay, it's so close to pumping out an Immortal, but yeah, it's just never going to be powered.
A second Immortal would have made the world of difference. This would have changed everything, and now we have a kill on the robot. The Immortal will not be coming out. herO has a Void Ray on the way. That's how desperate he is. But Last Classic has the unit advantage. He has 19 Stalkers to the 14 of herO. Classic is breaking on through. And even though he may not have a third base behind this, he doesn't need a third.
Yeah, I was going to say he's given up on trying to expand from here on out. He knows he can win this game as long as he doesn't throw away his army unnecessarily.
That's some really sick hold position micro as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Classic just maintaining control of this ramp. The third base here of herO, the natural, is going to be going down. And herO, any advantage that he once had, and he was ahead earlier. He was looking damn good in this game. Alas, Classic has taken that from him.
Nope, it's not going to be the only thing by the looks of things.
Yeah, the desperation move, the invisible man. DTs are on the way for herO.
Yeah, which I'm liking the idea of. You know, herO was able to scout earlier on and did notice that Classic didn't quite have much detection potential, but now an Observer's already out, and now, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see these DTs doing much of anything.
It's going to be so difficult to do damage. We even recall back home. It looks like the Adepts do threaten Classic enough. He doesn't want to throw away his lead. He knows that even if herO expands at this point, Classic, he has such a big advantage that it's not going to be the biggest of deals. As the Adepts are being forced back, they do get cleaned up. And Classic, once again, is going to be cleaning up this proxy location.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but the DTs do come in. Classic does scout them, but detection is not in range just yet.
Oh, the DTs do survive, but they were spotted by Classic. Is fully aware that he has to be careful about said DTs. herO is going for his own push.
The probe stayed alive by that gateway.
Okay, herO gonna be a little bit cheeky. Is gonna be able to repower that gateway. Same time, gonna be cleaning up some of these spotter pylons. And thankfully the DTs are still in play. You know, they can still influence a fight or even find Classic out of position or you know, find some of his bases a little bit exposed, as yeah, he's going to just be denying and containing herO to 2 bases once again.
Yeah, which is definitely the right idea. But unfortunately for Classic, the door is not there just yet. The wall is not a wall.
Mm-hmm. And this time,
but neither is herO's.
Yeah, we're going for the base trade. herO does have a couple of DTs, so maybe he's hoping to snipe the detection of his opponent, and maybe that'll be a way that he can win this. But at the same time, if the armies ever clash, Classic will win this. Like, he just has such a massive Stalker army.
Yeah, look at that army supply difference. Classic is up almost 50 supply right now, and he's even evacuating all of his probes to remake any buildings if he needs to. herO is as well, and you know, herO actually has a better bank than Classic does right now, so that does seem a little bit more realistic for herO to rebuild.
Yeah, exactly. He's able to evacuate towards the top right-hand corner of that. Meanwhile, herO is losing everything else. The next side are falling. herO has to throw down the base soon, but top right doesn't seem the safest of places to be right now, as Classic does throw down his own backup nexus.
Unless it's so safe that... Oh. We'll see.
Yeah.
As yeah, Classic suspects that the only other buildings on the map right now would probably be that proxy location. He does have to be careful. herO's army is not far behind.
Yeah, exactly. As herO has eyes on the nexus of his opponent. Meanwhile, this base is under threat. herO actually not going to be engaging here. I mean, he knows that he has another nexus anyway. Oh, these probes have to be careful not to lure the army towards top right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is exactly where Classic's nexuses are. I mean, this is already a little bit of a tell, I would say, for Classic, just seeing all those probes in that position. But yeah, he's actually looking to fight the main army right now.
Yeah, exactly. And herO, he cannot contest this. GG gets called, and Classic will take game number 1. And mate, that was only game 1.
Yeah. Only game 1, but so calculated and so positional as well. Both players just trying to outmaneuver each other. It was a 15-minute game, but honestly, it felt a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there. It felt like multiple games in one because we had just such a weird start. There were advantages for both players, disadvantages. Classic had a rough beginning, if you remember. He was down in the overall base count. He was down in the worker count as well. But he clawed his way back in. Maybe herO even overextending a little bit, recognizing that he warped in defensively back at home to deal with those adepts. He should have recognized that his own main army would have been that much weaker, and he threw so much away.
Yeah, I was more than ready to just call it for herO after, after the unnatural natural got deflected, or rather the attack on the unnatural natural got deflected, after herO was able to get all of that probe damage with his phoenixes. I honestly think he could have gotten more before recalling, but even still, things were not looking good at all for Classic. But Classic, as we can see from this banner, he is used to being on the dark side. He is used to bouncing back.
Oh, yeah.
That's a DT.
Yeah, you go. He is used to the Invisible Man. He knows, he breathes it. As here he is in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing Team Twisted Minds. Up 1-0 in this best of 5 grand finals. It is Classic.
And over here in the top right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea, representing CranKy Gaming and also Zest. We have herO.
There we go again.
Yep. I was just gonna say, I gotta tell you, like, Twisted Minds is, I think, one of the more interesting newer teams coming out onto the scene, because, of course, it is surprisingly not a Chinese team, or a Korean team, or an NA team. It is based in Saudi Arabia.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy until you remember how rich they are.
Yeah, I was about to say that, I believe they have invested in even some StarCraft, if you remember, it's like the quote-unquote, like, replacement WSG. I can't remember what it's called, but there was, like, a big tournament this year.
Gamers Without Borders.
That's
Gamers
it.
8. That's what you got.
Yeah,
Gamers Without Borders was, like, the qualifiers.
Exactly. So, they're clearly willing to invest, and they somehow found Classic, and I'm sure Classic is very happy about that.
Yeah. He's getting that oil money.
Yeah, exactly. Oiling himself up.
Yeah, rubbing up that chin.
Oh. You think it gives him good luck?
Yeah, I think it blinds his opponents. Just shines it up.
There you go, mate. There you go. Oh, God. But, yeah, it's really cool to see Classic getting support regardless. If you remember, he was my, like, it's Classic and Gumiho were the two players that it was such a shame that they weren't a part of a WTL team. It was such a shame that they weren't being supported, and despite being so damn good, I mean, Classic is arguably the second best Protoss alongside herO, top 2 in Korea, and Gumiho is a finalist for ESL Masters Summer. They are so deserving to be supported by a team, and it's great that Classic found a team. Now we're just waiting for Gumiho to come across someone as well.
Yeah,
Saudi Arabia.
So Saudi. I was gonna say fitting as well, because something about Gumiho driving KJ's cars. I was gonna connect that to oil, but then I remembered I don't know anything about how cars work.
Like how do we put vegetable oil in the cars? Is that how they
That's
run?
what it is, right? That's why the restaurants like they don't throw out the oil.
Yeah, so they can drive home.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You have to feed the car the vegetables so that they're healthy.
So we did have a bit of a skirmish here. We did have double gate openers all around from both herO and Classic, and we're both getting into expansions, but the follow-up is very different. herO's actually going for a bit of a safer follow-up as well. We do have a skirmish here in the middle of the map. It looks like herO comes out on top.
But just barely. Oh, the sentry, no! Does it a lot of trouble, but no trouble in the end. Does pump out that force field, or throw out that force field.
Yeah, does pump it out just like that oil. And herO again taking a bit of a better trade, but with the defensive warp in, herO's going to respect that. He's going to back off. In the end, we end up trading 1 Stalker for herO, 3 Stalkers for Classic. Oh my god, didn't realize just how well herO had traded in the end. But the big difference here is that Classic is working towards Blink. herO actually went for a Robo first. Oh.
Interesting, which like you said, is kind of the safer option, but with this earlier Twilight Council, he 100% is looking to make use of that Warp Prism.
Yeah, very interesting. So I assumed that this was going to be for early Immortal production, but no, we're going for a Prism first. So with this, he's going to have high ground vision. He's going to be able to warp in across the map, be hyper aggressive. I wouldn't be surprised if he throws down a 3rd gateway. He still only has 2 gateways for now, so not the most amount of production is available to him, but if he does throw down 1 or even 2 more gates, then this can lead towards a big all-in.
Yeah, considering he is going for Blink before anything else, it would make a lot more sense for herO to go for to get a bit more production before he pulls the trigger.
Yeah, but there it is. Immortal is on the way, so herO is going to be going for a bit of a longer game. As a result, he's going to be waiting for that Immortal count to get a bit higher, and he should be working towards his 3rd base. Meanwhile, the Prism does slip on in, and he does get into the mineral line with these Adepts.
Yeah, already able to get 1 probe by the looks of things, but he is chased away, at least for the time being, as he commits to the Shade fully. And that's a lot of probes going down here for Classic. Not game ending yet, but pretty dang close.
6 workers go down. Aye, that is pretty well worth it here for herO. He keeps the Prism alive, so he's constantly going to be threatening Classic, and now he's working on that 3rd base, and I love this. Classic wants to be aggressive himself. He's working on his own Prism. He's looking to be active on the map. He will have faster Blink than his opponent, but he's going to be running in to Immortals.
And they hit like a truck. Let me tell you. It's all that vegetable oil they're hopped up on.
Exactly, and we can see Classic, instead of going for a 3rd base, he throws down 2 more gateways, so it's going to be a 2-base, 4-gate Blink push from a Classic, looking to be hyper aggressive, and this is going to be scattered by herO's Hallucination.
And now he doesn't really have to do anything but prepare back at home, and he's already halfway there. 2 Immortals are already out, a couple more gateways are on the way. Now all he needs is a couple more shield batteries, and herO should just be safe and sound.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're really lacking. We only have 1 shield battery here at the 3rd base. I do think that a 2nd shield battery would work wonders. The Prism is going to be threatening that main, keeping a couple of Stalkers back at home, but here we go. Classic has shown up. He's looking to try to break this 3rd base, but can he really do anything against these Immortals? He's going to avoid them. Up!
Yeah, he does have Blink, and the Warp Prism goes down, taking out a couple of Stalkers and Sentries by the looks of things. There's not a lot of longevity to this push here for Classic. It is now or never, but honestly, there's still a lot of damage he can get done.
Yeah, exactly. The boys are being fooled in here. He can afford to lose some workers. He has the worker advantage. The Immortals do bustle in. We are going to be able to blink the hell out of here. And it looks like Classic's going to be able to escape. But he lost a lot in this attack. He lost a lot of Stalkers and even the Prism.
Yeah, that was such a decisive targeting there from herO, taking out the Warp Prism pretty much immediately before it can really come into play.
Speaking of, herO also loses his Prism across up. He also gets eyes, though he does see the lack of 3rd base of his opponent. That means that he can chill. He can just back off. He knows that his opponent is still on the 2-base economy. He just has to defend and wait back at home for his opponent to push in for a 2nd time.
Which is pretty soon. Right about now, funnily enough.
The Classic was being a little bit cheeky. I think he wanted to expand here, by the way. I think
He 100% did, but herO will be taking that gold base instead.
Yeah, he had eyes on it. The gold will not be taken by Classic. He goes for another warp and across snap. He's pushing on forward. Once again, only one shield battery. It's going to go down instantly.
And while this attack is definitely a little bit better for Classic this time, once again, the defense is as solid as can be, really, for herO.
Yeah, there's 5 immortals. My god, one immortal is finally going to be going down. The second immortal goes down as well. Good target firing coming out from Classic. herO having some trouble here, but he will be sniping that prism once again for a second time.
And that's just about all she wrote, really. Classic gonna be able to take out another immortal and a couple more probes, but look at that army supply difference. herO is more than willing to lose his immortals, because he at any point could just go for the counterattack.
Yeah, I mean, Classic was all in, basically. Like, when you're all in, you have to end the game one way or another, and the game will end, but alas, not in favor of our red Protoss. He's down in army supply, down in the economy as well. herO has to be careful not to overextend. He moved out quite far across the map here with only a handful of Stalkers.
Yeah, not pushing out with his entire army, but he is starting to consolidate them and get a full surround here on Classic. The Warp Prism is able to get one more warp in, but will go down regardless, and everything else of Classic's army will be going down with it. GG is called. herO ties us up sideways 1-1.
GG, well played. So beautifully done here by herO to, one, cripple the economy of his opponent, and just after doing so, just be ready to defend, to receive at his third base with those mass amount of immortals. Like, herO at no point was in any danger. He was in full control, and he was able to see everything that Classic was doing.
Yeah. Including the, no. I say that. Anyway, but yeah, it was very straightforward then from herO to just, like you said, defend, and it's, I think, honestly pretty rare that we see herO as the more reactive player instead of one who's trying to set the pace of the game, but herO just proves that he's not only comfortable wearing the boots, he can also wear the pants if need be.
Yeah, he can wear whatever you need him to wear, or not. So, yeah,
Oh.
really, yeah, here he can be the aggressor, he can be the defender, and what role is he going to be taking here in game number 3 as we're loading into the largest map in the map pool? We're loading into Altitude.
Indeed we are, and over here at the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our red Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing his brand new team, Twisted Minds. He is a chin toss himself. He is Classic.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Altitude, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing DragonKy Gaming. It is herO. Oh, who is it?
Oh, who is it?
Oh, no.
Is it me?
No, oh my.
Oh, it's 2 players.
It's the European casters.
All right, it's 2 observers. Yeah.
Europe is under attack.
Well, I mean, unironically, you know, didn't Blizzard say that they were getting DDoS attacks yesterday?
Yeah, I also know that connection to servers from regions can sometimes be
Could also be pretty spotty, to say the least. Very much dependent on a lot of factors, the least which including stuff. I don't know where you're going to that.
Oh god, it's all good. It's all good. As sorry. What I was getting at is there have been instances where like other regions trying to connect to Korea have the Korean server in StarCraft specifically have sometimes has sometimes been a little bit shaky. Comes from BNet. Oh no! Ugh.
I see who it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this isn't the internet itself. Like, I'm pretty sure Wardy stream and Coca stream is still looking good. It's just their connection to the BNet servers here in Korea.
Yeah. That, I imagine, is what it is, you know. Again, if it was again, if it was a server problem on Blizzard's end, then obviously it's not gonna affect the internet connectivity on the user's end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
At least that's what Blizzard is saying is the issue right now.
yeah,
DDoS.
exactly. Fun fact: this was happening this weekend to Enki. Enki was having a hard. He was lagging out of KSL, and I was like checking, and like his stream was fine. Like he was streamed to Twitch fine. It was just he was unable to connect to the games themselves or to the server itself. So yeah, it was unfortunate. Hopefully, it's an issue that does get resolved, and hopefully they're able to join us for the following games in this series.
Yeah. SMH in my head. Servers. Blizzard servers.
But a shout out to Wardy and Coca. Coca is, of course, a French caster, and Wardy an English caster as well. You know, they, I'm sure, are going to be doing their best here to resolve these issues and come back. And yeah, it's great to see them casting ESL Open Cup Asia as well. They rarely do. They usually don't at all, but because of the new time slots, because of the new day as well, it is much more friendly to European players and casters.
Yeah. The only downside is we don't get to see our NAD gens as much anymore, but you know what? Maybe that's just a sign for them to step up the D-gen-ness.
It's true. Now now
stay up till 6 a.m. instead of 4 a.m.
Yeah, Straya. What you're saying is that we're filtering out like the pseudo degens, like the ones that try to pretend, and we get the real ones this time.
Yeah.
Let's go. The pure degens.
Unadulterated.
I was gonna bring up Jack again, but I'm gonna hold off on that one, man. I'm gonna hold off on that one. As once again, herO is going to be going for a Robo opener. You have the Robo alongside the second gate. We didn't really get to talk too much about it because of the casters lagging out, but we did have gate expands being set up from both of our players. Classic going to be a lot more reliant on Blink Stalkers instead, so very similar to the last game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember what we were talking about before we panicked about before we started panicking about the servers.
I don't remember either. I'll be honest.
Chad, help us out here.
But it's all good. So yeah, herO is going to be going for a very similar opener to the previous game. With this, we will have much faster immortal production. He's going to be looking to harass once again with adepts to try to get an economic lead. Now, can Classic recognize what's going on, and can he keep up this time as the prism is hidden from the adept of Classic?
Yeah, but for how long? Long enough by the looks. Oh my. That was dramatic.
Yeah, the adepts take each other out, but we have a second adept on the way so we can one-shot workers. We're going to be zooming across the map, and Classic, I believe, is still none the wiser. He's throwing down his own Robo, though, and he's up to 3 gates already, going straight into a third, actually.
Very, very greedy here from Classic, and it is something that he should be able to get away with, considering just the sheer size of altitude, but you know herO is going to be looking to punish this. He knows that he cannot just let this much quicker third go off. Otherwise, he's just going to be perpetually behind.
Yeah, exactly. And here we go. Once again, the adepts show up. 2 probes are going to be going down. Only 2 for the time being. And oh, that's a lot of stalkers. It looks like we commit to the shade anyway. And we get a third and a 4th probe.
Yeah, only 4, but at the cost of 2 adepts, not bad, not terrible damage.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it does give herO a bit of a lead, but he does have a deficit when it comes to the army supply here, or when it comes to the number of Blink Stalkers that Classic has available, but we make up for that in Immortals, as herO has a pretty sturdy army overall.
Yeah, a little bit of a pseudo Soul Train, as we've called them.
Oh, he wants to blink in. He wants in. He wants in. Up!
And he will get in.
Oh, he does blink.
The Immortals,
yeah, the Immortals are able to elevate her into the main base as well. That Prism is taking a lot of hits, and it looks like, will it go down? It will!
Just like so, and so will the rest of Classic's army as he tries to retreat from here.
Exactly. He does lose 7 Stalkers in the process. A better trade for herO overall, but Classic is not done. He has a Prism looking to slip into the main base. He's able to get his third base up and running as well. A little bit faster than herO, so he's able to make up for the worker damage that was done earlier, and he just warps in straight into the main base of herO.
Yeah, these are Stalkers and not Adepts, so they do take a little while to one-hit probe, so herO doesn't even care anymore.
Yeah.
He's just going straight for the throat.
Yeah, he doesn't care about the third base either. He's going straight for the main base as we speak. We're going for basically a base trade here, but herO, he of course has a recall available if he needs it. He does warp in defensively, and he depowers the gateways.
Absolutely huge. Just half of the production just immediately taken out here for Classic. Spore, speed, charge is not going to be done anytime soon here for Classic either. So all in all, things are going from bad to worse to even worse somehow.
Yeah, exactly. The Robo's depowered. The Immortal will not come out. GG gets called, and herO will take game number 3, taking a lead in this series.
GG, finding himself a match point. I'm noticing a pattern here, Light. Every game has been shorter than the last one.
They really have been, and even though Classic had an economic lead, because the map is so large, because altitude is so large, both armies missed each other. As soon as herO saw the aggressive stance of those Stalkers, he's like, I'll just commit to the base trade. I know that I have a larger army, I know I have a better army, I know that I'm just going to be in a better position overall coming into this, and yeah, what a way to end altitude.
Yeah. Fitting that altitude, whatchamacallit, something about dropping.
And speaking of, massive shout out to someone in the chat. Shout out to Florencio, Papi, as he does give us a raid. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Welcome everyone to the finals of the ESL Open Cup Asia.
Much appreciated, Mr. Sewer.
Is that what he's known as? Mr. Sewer? Oh.
I like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
you gotta put respect to the name, you know?
Is it Mr. Sewer or Mr. Mermaid?
Oh, that's a good question.
But it's very fitting that, of course, Florencio does raid us for a PvP. Makes plenty of sense. I'm sure Florencio will be given some ideas here from both herO and Classic.
Oh, without a doubt. You know, it may not be, say, I don't know, Haas and SOS or anything like that, but both of our players here, herO and Classic, have been known to get down and dirty when they have to.
Oh, yeah. They've been getting pretty dirty.
Yeah. Very, very dirty. I mean, you know, there was a door involved, and But at any rate, we're going to be continuing our best of 5 PvP grand finals here. We're in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Gresvan. There we go. We're in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in this bottom right-hand corner. We have our red Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea, representing his brand new team, Twisted Minds. He is the chin toss himself, needing to win this game and then the one after this in order to take this week's grand prize. He is Classic.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresvan, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing DragonKy Gaming, leading this series 2-1, one game away from becoming this week's champion. It is herO.
The 2 highest ranked Protoss players in the world. I would be very surprised if this is the map where, you know, it all ends and, you know, the series is over. I very much expect us to go to the ace match, but at the same time, we'll see who is able to kind of outwit the other one. That's kind of what I've noticed so far in this series. The games that have been won haven't necessarily been because of one player out macroing or out controlling the other or anything like that. They have been won just from outsmarting the other one.
Yeah, and
either keeping their cool, like in the case of Royal Blood with herO, or just outmaneuvering them, like in the case of Classic in is it Babylon? I'm gonna say Babylon.
Yeah, I mean, that's how a lot of these PvPs go, especially between herO, Classic, and even Creator as well, where like they both have amazing control, amazing macro, amazing micro, but it's all about catching their opponent off guard, whether it's with Adept Harass, whether it's their build orders, whether it's like faking a third and going for an all-in. Like, it's all about deception, betrayal, the drama. The drama in PvP is real.
Oh, I need that soap opera now.
Hey, you thought Game of Thrones was crazy. Let me tell you the tale of herO and Classic.
Oh. Yeah, we get, what is that spin-off called? Blood of the Dragon? This is Blood of the... Dragon was a Terran player, so it doesn't count anymore. So it's weird. Blood of the Sewer Mermaid. There we go.
I thought you were going to go more generic, like Blood of the Kala or something, or... I don't know, like something more Protoss related, but okay, the sewer.
Blood of Florencio.
As both players do go for 2-gate openers, we have double adept from a Classic as we wait for the shade to finish. herO baiting it in, and then he reveals his additional stalkers. He will be shutting down every single one of these adepts. Does he lose the stalker? Ooh, he will.
He does, but at the cost of 2 adepts.
And so a better trade from herO. Meanwhile, he's staying on one base. Bear that in mind. We have... Oh, it's a one-base all-in. We have a Robo and a third gateway. herO is committing to a one-base all-in, and Classic, so far, hasn't scouted this. He doesn't know. Not yet.
Honestly, what else are you going to do on Gressvan in a PvP, especially when you're ahead, when you're on match point here, like herO is?
Exactly. The Depths are going to be threatening a shade, and they do not get in.
I was just going to say, I'm half expecting a Robo Bay to be thrown down. Shortly after this.
Yeah, it definitely can be. Oh, the Oracle forced to waste its energy. We have a second Oracle on the way. Oracle's not going to be the most ideal unit defensively, but it looks like Classic is going to be collapsing on these Stalkers. He also saw the lack of natural base, but more Stalkers do show up, and how the turns do table. Classic gets caught out.
Yeah, he's going to lose half his army approximately just in the middle of the map on the retreat. Classic setting his Oracles across the map, try to equalize some damage or try to get some probe damage where he can. Very important canceling of that natural base. Classic needs to focus 150% on defense, but losing the base and these 2 pylons, he is so heavily supply blocked.
Oh, the supply block is real. The Oracle's getting across that, but herO was waiting for this. He has 2 Stalkers in position. He loses a handful of probes, and he does deflect those Oracles. At the same time, a gateway goes down. That's dangerous because we only had 2. Now we're down to 1 gateway for Classic.
Yeah, things are not looking up whatsoever. A couple of these Stalkers are actually in range of the second warp gate as well, thanks to the high ground vision of this warp prism. Void Ray comes out, reveals itself, and will be doing a lot to sort of stall herO's advance. But for how long? Yeah,
the wall's not a wall. The Adepts, they shade past the army, or they try to. We see the counter shade going to be blocking them, but the Adepts do get into the mineral line. At the same time, the army moves forward. We want to try to snipe that Void Ray, but no, the Void Ray does survive. I can't say the same about these workers, as we have 0 mining here right now.
Yeah, Classic's going to be able to avoid this other Void Ray, but if he doesn't have any mining, he's not going to be able to forge much of anything else. Void Ray's prismatic alignment was on cooldown. Very important battery overcharge, but even then, it's not enough to make up for the sheer damage potential of all these Stalkers. GG is called. herO will take this entire series, this entire tournament, 3-1 in the grand finals, and be this week's champion. And I want to point out, game number 1, 18 minutes long. Game number 2, about 12 minutes long. Game number 3, 7 minutes long. This game was 6 minutes long.
Let's go.
Every game was shorter than the last. GG. Very nicely done here from herO.
Yeah, GG, well played. That is the power of the Korean PvP. That is why I love casting these Sujuki out. Time and time again, they get really chaotic, they get down, they get dirty, and we love to watch. As congratulations to herO. My condolences to Classic again, but like herO had some really slick moves throughout the course of the early game of that. Remember, just like trapping those Adepts, killing those 2 initial Adepts, kept Classic in the dark. It meant that he didn't know if there was a Nexus or not until the second wave of adepts. And even then, remember, they also got caught out in the middle of the map because of the Prism as well. Classic had no idea about the one base all-in until it was already more than halfway across the map, and Classic just didn't really have enough time to prepare himself. I mean, he even invested into 2 oracles that didn't do anything. Remember, they went across the map and they got 3 probes, and that's it.
That was pretty much it. He fell into herO's trap right then and there. And it's honestly pretty surprising just how well herO was able to just tighten things up towards the end of the series, just really outmaneuver Classic here. Because I've got to be honest, based on what I saw from herO today, I thought he looked pretty shaky. I thought he looked very shaky against Bjorn. I thought he looked pretty shaky against Solar as well. Even game number 1 against Classic, it looked like herO kind of threw it.
Yeah.
What should have been a 1 game. I really thought this was going to be a much closer series and potentially a Classic victory as well. But herO, right towards the end here, just proves why exactly he's been considered the best Protoss player in the world for the past year and a half, honestly.
He was definitely much more decisive here towards the end of the series, and maybe he just needed a little bit of time to warm up. Maybe he just needed some time to get his confidence going, as he was able to really assert himself in these last couple of games. So very well done, GG, well played. My condolences to Classic, but again, he's an amazing player as well. There's a reason why he made it this far. I mean, if we even look at his tournament run, like, he was able to bring down Creator. He also brought down what was the other big name? He brought down Stats as well, so it was even warmed up for the PvP.
Yeah. Well, warmed up or too warmed, you know?
You don't want to get too hot. You want to be just right, and it goes to show that even though Classic took down the other top Protosses in Korea, herO is a cut above the rest. And with that, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves here tonight. I hope everyone had I hope everyone, enjoyed the broadcast, enjoyed the tournament, as that was our final series.
Indeed it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Yaku, thank you for joining me. Thank you. It's been a while.
You as well. I feel like I needed this.
Fair enough.
I needed to reset my brain a little bit.
Oh god, it's good to see you again. And breaks always are worthwhile, especially if you're like so intense when it comes to university work and stuff like that, and studies. So yeah, hope you were able to enjoy yourself here. You even got some Terran, you didn't get to cast any Terran today, but they were there.
They were around,
Yeah,
I felt their presence within me.
There you go. That's all that matters.
That's why I was spojing so much.
Oh no. Not like this. But I also did notice as well, Yaku, that you were actually laddering. I think yesterday you were playing some StarCraft
a little bit, yeah. I was like, okay, how should I procrastinate today?
Mm-hmm.
And then I laddered.
How did it go? How'd the ladder go?
Surprisingly well. I didn't encounter a single Zerg player, so I had a positive win rate in that ladder sesh.
Shaking my head. It's good to hear. I also, if I remember correctly, you even had an interesting game that you maybe wanted replay casted.
I'm
not saying to do it today, but
yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I did play 2 games and I thought, oh, I could replay cast this, and I could get this replayed, but then I rewatched them. I thought, oh no, only one of them is interesting, and it is the longer one.
We'll get Asher to cast it. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh god, but yeah, it's
you
good.
Get Asher to cast it, and then you need to get my director's commentary.
Oh no. It'd be amazing. But yeah, it's great to have you back again. I know you're gonna be free maybe in a couple of weeks for some regular casts.
I may potentially. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It depends entirely on how well I'm able to finish what I need to do, because essentially I have a deadline at the end of this week, and then the deadline at the end of July, or 2 other deadlines at the end of July. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, potentially, depending on how quick I'm able to finish that up, I might be free in the middle of July, but I definitely will be free come August.
Yeah, so if you're in the chat, give some love, give some support to Yaku, as he hasn't been able to cast as much as he used to on this channel. But whenever we get him here, you know, it's something that we like to cherish, and I'm sure in the future we'll get some more. We'll get some more Yaku in the future. Oh.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. With that, we are done here for today. Our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow. Quickly checking the calendar. I believe it is going to be ESL Open Cup Americas in 12 hours. In 12 hours from this message, we'll be live with ESL Open Cup Americas. So if you want some more Korean action, and even a couple of Europeans, players like Clem, Geralt, Max Pax, they usually stay up, they go full degen, and they play in the Americas weekly tournament. So make sure you're a part of that. If you cannot be a part of that, then in closer to 24 hours, we're going to be live with NA Apprentice. The first group of this season of NA Apprentice is going to be upon us.
Yeah, great to see them coming back here. Oh, great to see that, you know, we are giving attention to NA Apprentice once again.
Yeah. Shout out to...
Which was... Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, as the name implies, it was one of the major... Kind of one of the major tournaments to really look out for up-and-coming talent from the region.
100%. You know, it's for those wondering, for those who may not have heard of NA Apprentice, it's basically like GSL for the North American region. That's also open to Latin America this season as well. So all of the Americas are getting involved. So you can tune in tomorrow if you're interested in supporting the NA region. We're going to be casting it here live on this channel. Or I say live, it's going to be a replay cast, but the cast itself will be live on this channel. So make sure you're a part of that. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for watching. Yaku, if people want to find you, I know you don't stream too often, but maybe like a crab champion stream or something, where can they find it?
Oh, I have an idea for a new crab stream. They just updated it.
Oh,
I feel like I need to stream it.
Let's go.
When I find time, eventually that will be over at twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1. But in the meantime, you can also follow me over at twitter.com @EmporaYakuzaku, where I regale people of times gone by. Former lore.
Exclamation
what about
mark.
you, Light?
Exclamation mark Yakuzaku in the chat. You can follow me at light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream throughout the week. I was actually laddering just before the cast as well. So if you're interested, I do try and ladder whenever I can. I probably won't be able to ladder tomorrow just because we have 2 broadcasts, but follow me there if you're interested. I also do play Diablo 4 with Asher whenever we have time as well. So Diablo 4, StarCraft, maybe sometimes some other games like Final Fantasy 14 is over on my channel. But if you only want some casting, if you only want some StarCraft, exclamation mark socials in the chat. The CranKy Ducklings all over the place. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. We are everywhere, and you can watch the VODs on YouTube if you're interested. Otherwise, follow us on social media where you will get notified when we go live every single time. With that, thank you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the support. Yaku, do you have anything you want to say before we head off for the night?
Open the door.
Open the door?
Get on the floor.
Oh. Excuse me? Where are you going with this?
Something dinosaur.
You gotta do the dinosaur?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I don't know why my brain went there.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, bye.